Astro Boy 1963 episode 2 review. Now, in this episode of Astro Boy, I have to say, it started off slow. I didn't really like how it started off, but it progressively got better. I give it that. It progressively got better, and thus, overall, I enjoyed the episode. Now, with this episode, we start off with, not sure how much longer after episode 1, probably a couple months, a few months here, whatever. You know, we start off quite nicely, with, it's not focused on Astro Boy at first, but it's focused on the greater world. So it's a bit of world building, and I like that a lot. It's setting up the fabric more of the society in which we live, and it's talking about how in this timeline, in the year 2000, machines have been invented that even a few years back, humans, man, couldn't even have dreamed of. So that tells me that a lot of scientific progress had happened in this timeline with quite recently. So that's a really cool element, and that scientific enhancement also seemingly has been with a social enhancement, which is actually quite a rarity in human history. So maybe Astro Boy, the series, is actually saying something to us. So that was a nice bit to take from the beginning of the episode. And then we continue, and it talks about mass production of robots, and I think that also highlights how special Astro Boy is, how special some of these robots he comes across are. Okay, most robots are mass produced to look the same, whether male or female. Also, robots are used obviously as a replacement for deep space voyages, but as well as in everyday life. Like, you see the dancer chick, you see some of these other ones, they're doing duties. And here's the problem, that and then we also see a highlight that many people, and remember this is 63, but many people had feared, and it's partially come true to this day, where man has become lazy and has replaced, and I believe I forget his name, but the head of the institute, the guardian of Astro, said this: man became lazy, and so man relied on machine too much to do work. And so what happens here, as we're building somewhat of a special robot, right? I guess he's supposed to go into space or whatever he's supposed to do, that we see at the end of the episode. He's nicknamed Colosso. He's being built, and robots are building him. They usually do a good job, but things go wrong, and his head crashes. He wakes up, and his mind ain't there, okay? So, kind of like Astro Boy, he had to get his bearings, but like this literally handguard dude, he handles him at first, but then Colossal shows his immense strength and just clobbered, pretty much just dismantles the dude. So the dude had to pull out the white flag and surrender. And then we're moving on. So Colossal breaks free, and he's so mindless that the first people he meet are bank robbers, and he helps them rob the safe and all that, yada yada. So eventually, and Colossal listens to this one dude. Now, he's not like the other bank robbers, and especially not the boss of the whole gang or whatever. This dude, he's involved, but he's one of those kind of coward kind of dudes. He's one of them jumpy kind of guys. The guys you don't really want on your crew, but he'll do what you want, but he ain't really about that life. You feel what I'm saying? So we have that. And he's the one who gives the orders to Colossal to do this and that. Meanwhile, the string of crimes is going on, and Astro Boy, no evidence now, mind you, no evidence, but Astro Boy, because he's so phenomenal and so powerful. Remember I mentioned, and if you didn't see my last review, go check that out, see how powerful he actually is. He's so powerful that this detective or whatever he's supposed to be, he blames Astro Boy, and Astro Boy's like, yo, I didn't do it, what are you talking about? Now mind you, this Colosso, this giant robot, is still MIA. Okay, you see footsteps everywhere, but apparently this MIA robot isn't considered. But this robot that y'all get where I'm going with this. There's no logic. And see, when people, you gotta understand this show. This was what really sparked my interest in the episode. It showed the depth of fear. When fear controls the mind, fear makes us, I'm not talking about respect, but I'm talking about fear. Fear makes us illogical. And illogical thought, irrational thought, it makes you do some strange things and some things you won't want to do. But right before that, a part that I understood, but I don't even like how they handled it. Astro Boy, he's not a normal boy, he's a robot, but he wants a mom. And he wants a dad too. He tells the guardian, like, yo, you're just a guardian, you're not my parent. I need that. So there's that. And so the head is just like, all right, we got you, Astro Boy. I feel for you. So they're starting to create parents, but they couldn't finish because of this colossal threat. So Astro Boy even has his own incentive of stopping this guy. So okay, we'll accept that. That was an okay part. Anyways, back to the whole fear segment. It's done gotten so bad out on the streets where robots are getting attacked by masses. That shows you that humanity is its own worst nightmare. We are our own worst nightmare, individually and then as a group, because we'll do some stupid stuff. We see it every day. I don't even need to go into that. So that shows the depth of psychology and philosophy. That's the little nugget up in there. So anyway, Astro Boy, he shows up at one of the robberies. It was a museum. Hold on, how'd it go? There was that one lady. I think they escaped. She escaped. But anyway, there's like a museum or whatever that's supposed to show these jewels or big jewel or whatever. And Astro Boy shows up to stop Colosso and them. Colosso and them escape. Astro Boy takes the hit by the same. He takes the fall. It wasn't on him, but they arrested him, and they're trying to prosecute him and everything. It's that same dude who already suspicious and suspected Astro Boy of committing a crime. He arrested him, and then they're trying to try him in the court of law and whatever. And you got the head institute's like, are y'all stupid? This is what I'm talking about. Humans are the problem to blame here. We got lazy and the mistake happened. Okay, crimes are still being committed while you unjustly prosecuting Astro Boy. Pretty much meaning there's no evidence. Okay, no jewels were left behind. He was just there, so they assume. You can't just be assuming that kind of stuff. So anyway, Astro Boy, he's pretty much free to go, and he's like, yeah, enough is enough. Oh, here's where the lady where they're trying to rob from the lady. And Astro Boy comes in to do work, and pretty much, yeah, Astro Boy comes in to do work, and he ends up fighting the gang or whatever, and he ends up having this battle with Colosso, which we expected. At the end of the episode, Colosso, he's defeated, and they are able to finally wire him, and he's a jolly good fellow, I guess you could say. And I guess the dude who was his owner, who wasn't really about that life, he didn't get arrested either, which was kind of cool, which was good. Even though he was affiliated, he really wasn't. He was trying. He actually tried to help. Okay, so I applaud that. And Colosso goes to the moon, or to space, wherever he was going. I think he was saying he was going to go to the moon. So there's that. Now, my criticism, you already heard a couple of them, but one of my biggest criticism of this episode was the fact that they used pretty much straight up still frames for the battle between Astro Boy and Colosso. Now, that Astro Boy versus Colosso, look, I don't mind still frames being used here and there, but a whole battle, especially when the battle is the focal point of the episode, have fluid animation. They had that kind of stuff in episode 1. I don't know why they chose to do the still frame, totally still frame, in this episode. I wasn't vibing with that at all. But overall, like I said, the depth, the psychology and philosophical, the psychological and philosophical questions that were asked, the development. Oh, and at the end, Astro Boy, he did get his robot parents. So we'll see where it goes with that. We'll see. You know, the growing more development with Astro Boy. We see he's pretty much human. Even though he recognizes he's a robot, he pretty much wants to be human. So I like that. The world building and whatnot was there. Plot progression, you know, was there. Not as much as episode 1, but it was definitely there. So overall, I'll give this a episode a 6.5 out of 10. It was a decent episode of Astro Boy. Like I said, it was lacking in some areas. Some areas weren't handled properly. But overall, I applaud it. It was decent. You know, I can't complain. I did like a lot of elements, as you did see. Alright, like, comment, subscribe. The Unexpected Wonder here. Tell me y'all thoughts on Astro Boy. Please go check out the series. It's a beautiful series. Episode 3 review will come either today, tomorrow, or next day. Whenever I decide to put it up. So yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. More videos to come, you already know. And peace, y'all. Be easy.